There exists a category of creatures in the world that have been spotted by a few individuals, but whose existence has never been scientifically confirmed. We collectively refer to such beings as unidentified mysterious animals, UMA. Hello, and welcome to the World in 10 Minutes video series. When we think of most small to medium-sized herbivorous animals, we tend to picture them as peaceful and gentle. However, today's subject is the complete opposite. We will explore a quadrupedal creature with bizarre behavior, a twisted appearance, and even a potential threat to humans. This is the legendary monster said to roam the Appalachian Mountains, the knot deer.
Knot deer, a modern urban myth and cryptid phenomenon. The knot deer is a newly emerging UMA, unidentified mysterious animal that I've been closely following lately. As its name suggests, it is often described as a creature that resembles a moose or a white-tailed deer, but with several unusual anatomical features that set it apart from normal deer. Unlike typical deer, the knot deer has disproportionately long limbs with more joints, and in some accounts, it can even stand or walk upright on two legs. One of its most disturbing traits is its eyes. Unlike real deer, which have eyes on the sides of their heads, the knot deer's eyes face forward, similar to those of primates or felines. This gives it a more predatory and unsettling appearance. Due to its unnatural posture, stiff movements, aggressive behavior, and seemingly unhuman characteristics, it is sometimes referred to as zombie deer. Over the past few years, stories and sightings of the knot deer have gone viral online. Many witnesses claim to have seen such a creature while driving or hiking through forests at night. Although there's a lack of solid evidence, discussions and theories about the knot deer continue to grow. Let's take a look at two widely shared videos. The first video was uploaded to TikTok on July 8, 2021. It remains one of the most popular pieces of knot deer footage. The video was filmed by a user named Sarian Ann, formerly known online as Donnaball. What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it? Oh my God!
The second video was posted on March 17, 2022 by a paranormal blogger named Twilight Mall. He has collected many user-submitted videos of unusual creatures, and a significant number of them are allegedly related to the knot deer. From my research, the term knot deer first appeared on August 21, 2019 on the American social platform Tumblr. A user named Willowzawitch, who identifies as a black witch, replied to an anonymous question on her blog, describing the creature as follows. Anyone who has spent time in Appalachia knows about the knot deer. If you've ever driven the Blue Ridge Parkway at night, there's a chance you've seen it. In some ways, it should be considered a local cryptid. Everyone's experience with the knot deer is a little different, but they all share similarities. You're driving through a remote forested area. You might start to feel disoriented, like you're getting lost. In this setting, it's normal to see shadows of small animals crossing the road under your headlights. Then you see a deer. You or someone in the car shouts, "Oh, a deer!" and you slow down to avoid hitting it. But as you get a clearer look, something feels off. Its eyes are too forward-facing. Your stomach tightens like a stone is dropped in it. The hairs on your neck stand up because you sense an intelligence that should not be there. It doesn't move like a deer. It moves like, oh God, what is that? Whatever it is, it's not a deer. We need to leave. You hit the gas and drive away as fast as you can. This is the earliest known written account of the knot deer. The story is told in second-person perspective, making it immersive and relatable. The blogger also mentioned that several of her friends had gotten lost on the Blue Ridge Parkway and reported chilling experiences afterwards. These friends, she emphasized, were not the type to exaggerate or fabricate stories. One even claimed to have seen a deer standing on two legs.
The spread of the knot deer phenomenon. Eyewitness reports and online accounts. Shortly after the first blog post about the knot deer went viral, more and more people began sharing their own similar experiences in the comment section. One user named "Did You Notice"
wrote about a strange encounter 2 years ago during a summer walk in the Appalachian Mountains, just 2/3 of a mile from his home. He heard something rustling in the bushes and turned to look. Standing about 30 feet away was a deer, staring at him motionlessly. This was already strange, since wild deer usually flee when they see humans. What happened next was even more unsettling. The deer began to breathe heavily and emitted a low, growling sound. In his own words, "I swear to God, its eyes were blank, completely lifeless. Then it took a few steps toward me, but its movements were off. I jumped back, thinking, what the hell is that? It kept staring at me, then suddenly dashed about 50 feet away. It was incredibly disturbing, hard to put into words. But I knew that thing was not a normal deer. I ran all the way home without looking back." Another commenter named Roots and Rocks reported a similar sighting. He noted that the creature's joints were more numerous than those of a typical deer and bent in unnatural directions. He described it as a strange hybrid between a wolf and a deer, something mythical and wrong. In 2019, a thread titled "Not Deer Stories" was created on Reddit in the R Appalachia subreddit, aiming to gather origin stories and more sightings. One of the most famous replies came in 2020 from a motorcycling enthusiast nicknamed Chris, who claimed to have lived in Waynesboro, Virginia for 5 years. One sleepless night, Chris decided to ride his motorcycle alone along the closed-off Skyline Drive, heading toward the first overlook about a kilometer from Shenandoah National Park. It was around 11 p.m. when he arrived. Almost immediately, he felt overwhelmed by a suffocating darkness and unease. Even though he carried a large caliber handgun, it offered little comfort. After about 10 minutes, he said the hairs on the back of his neck stood on end. As a veteran of the Iraq War, he recognized the sensation. It felt like being watched by something hostile. The anxiety reminded him of moments just before combat. Then, small noises began to emerge from the woods. The tension grew unbearable. He got on his bike and started riding back downhill. That's when he saw it. A large deer-like creature stood by the roadside. He described it in chilling detail. Calling it a deer was technically correct, but only just. It looked like someone who had never seen a real deer tried to draw one from memory based on only secondhand descriptions. I saw its eyes even before my headlights.
As time went on, the story of the not deer spread rapidly. Over time, the story of the not deer, or fei lu in Chinese, began to spread quickly on forums and video platforms, especially on short video sites like TikTok. This includes the 2 videos we mentioned at the beginning. Many people claimed that at some point they had seen a wild deer behaving strangely. With so many videos and personal accounts being shared, it raises the question, is there really a bizarre creature roaming the Appalachian region that's different from normal deer? According to American skeptic and investigator Chu Jian, mentions of these strange deer actually date back to as early as 2014 on U.S. forums like 4chan. Anonymous users described a creature with pointy ears and a long, narrow snout. It walked on all fours like a deer, just learning to walk, but looked more like a giant, clumsy toy than a real animal. The most popular theory is a disease. One of the most widely accepted explanations for the not deer is that it might be caused by a real disease affecting deer, specifically chronic wasting disease, or CWD, also known as zombie deer disease. CWD is a deadly illness caused by prions, or a type of misfolded protein. It's a kind of transmissible spongiform encephalopathy, similar to mad cow disease in cattle or scrapie in sheep. It affects adult deer, causing symptoms like difficulty moving, lethargy and trembling, nervous behavior, and repetitive walking, excessive drooling and teeth grinding, and a loss of fear toward humans. The disease was first discovered in 1967 in Colorado,
but wasn't officially named until 1978. Since then, it's been found in 33 U.S. states and 5 Canadian provinces, affecting deer, elk, moose, and other species. Reports about zombie deer in recent years often stem from sightings of animals with this disease. Another possibility is EDH, or epizootic hemorrhagic disease. It's a non-contagious viral disease that's been found across the U.S., especially in white-tailed deer. Infected deer may show sudden loss of fear for humans, weakness and loss of appetite, heavy drooling, rapid heartbeat and breathing, skin damage, swelling of the head or neck, and a fever. If we assume the sightings of knot deer are true, then both of these diseases offer plausible scientific explanations. Most people have never seen an infected deer before, so such encounters could be shocking enough to trigger supernatural associations. Blending with folklore. As with many urban legends, people often mix unknown phenomena with existing folklore. For instance, skinwalkers. In Navajo belief, these are witches who can take the form of animals. This concept has become a catch-all explanation for mysterious creatures in North America. Wendigo, a legendary creature from Algonquin folklore. The popular image of a deer-headed monster may have contributed to the knot deer mythos. Still, using unknown stories to explain other unknowns isn't very logical. A matter of belief. Investigator Chu Jian believes that many people treat the knot deer as just a story, but since reports come from across the U.S., he suspects at least some witnesses truly saw something. Of course, some accounts may be hoaxes or exaggerated for entertainment. In his own research, he tried contacting famous content creators like Donabar, who posted the first video. Their reply? It was just a deer. That nature reserve home is home to many deformed or injured deer, but they usually don't appear in open areas like that. Even the blogger, Willow the Witch, the one who coined the term knot deer, admitted on May 18, 2025, that they made up the term. Their inspiration came from stories heard while living in the western mountains of North Carolina. They also clarified that the knot deer has nothing to do with witchcraft. In fact, the whole idea is based on third or even fourth-hand stories, making it hard to trace how much has been exaggerated. My personal conclusion? I think the knot deer is more like a modern urban legend. Its bizarre appearance, unsettling behavior, and horror-style stories make it popular on the internet. But whether this creature really exists or is just a concept, only time will tell. After all, new videos and stories about the knot deer continue to appear every year. It's possible that there's a real four-legged animal walking in the dark that we haven't discovered yet, or that some mysterious disease is spreading among deer in a way we don't fully understand. In the end, one thing remains true. The unknown will always be greater than the known, and that's exactly what makes UMA, or unidentified mysterious animals, so fascinating.